Hey guys, it's Postboxpat. Welcome back to a huge map change video and storyline video. In today's video, I'm going to break down everything for you guys, and we've got some amazing news on the Fortnite storyline, so stay tuned. But here are some honourable map changes which we've just not added in throughout our entire time in Chapter 2, which I thought I'd point out. And here's a really cool one for the start of the video, which I found absolutely hilarious. It's been in the game for a little bit of time, but it's actually over at Frenzy Farm. That is this car here pushing the tractor up the hill, which is just absolutely hilarious. But if you guys are new around here, roughly guys, 80% of you guys watching the videos on my channel aren't subscribed, so it would mean so much to me if you guys go and smash that subscribe and we grow as much as possible. Also, thank you everyone using code Postboxpat in the item shop through these difficult times. It does help out boost the channel. General fact across the entire of YouTube, the revenue will be a lot lower for us smaller creators especially, so hopefully support a creator can help support that for us. So you guys supporting me, roughly about 1,000 of you, much love and respect. If you guys want to go and support me further, don't forget to use code Postboxpat in the item shop if you enjoy the content and want to support me as a creator. We do try our best to fight against clickbait content, so thank you everyone supporting me. Alright, so like I said, in today's video we've got map changes and storyline news going on from the recent update, and there's actually some crazy stuff. So as we continue flying around, I was just kind of like showing you guys a few Easter eggs which we've spotted all over. The previous one that was on screen was actually a Harry Potter reference, which I talked about in a past map change video just for the intro. But heading over to the first map change of today's video, which is a huge storyline change, and that is the ship over on the island right here, or more of kind of the plane, should I say, but I guess it is kind of like a flying ship because we can assume that it came out of space previously, but we're not 100% sure. But you can see inside of it, the parts are starting to get stripped out of here. But not only are they being stripped, they're actually being taken to a secret location, which we'll show off in a minute. But as you can see, the plane itself has definitely changed over this season. We can see we've got a lot of plants around here. We've obviously got the parts which are slowly disappearing from it. Obviously there were crates inside of here last season. They've gone. The TVs no longer are fully functional. Everything in there has kind of disappeared. And who's this one owned by? Ghost. So Team Ghost own this location, which is really interesting because when you consider that, you start to think to yourself, why has this plane been stripped? Well, as we switch to this clip here, you can see as we head over to Pleasant Park, the brand new location which was opened up last week, we head inside of here and you can see that the parts are actually scattered all around. In this first section they're not here, but when you get deeper into here, just where the shadow cuts off there, or the shadow begins should I say, and you can see we have the parts of the doors, the parts of the actual mechanisms in the plane, which we'll jump back over to the plane in a second. That's this bit here, the computer system in the plane, more doors. And what team owns this layer right here? Shadow. So Shadow are stripping Ghost's plane slash ship from the sky and using it to extract detail or more information about Ghost. This whole season seems to be all about Shadow taking over. We've actually got some more interesting points coming at you guys in a second, but here you can see we have the door, then we have the control mechanism right here. So all this interesting stuff which is happening, which is leading to a future storyline in Fortnite itself, which actually reveals a lot of information for us, especially recently with the huge changes to the storyline with the introduction of the brand new Oro skin. Now he is crazy, one of my favorite skins. If you are purchasing him, don't forget to use code Postboxpat because he's going to have a big impact on that Fortnite storyline. Let's continue our way over to the actual Salty Springs location itself, and you can see that we now have the car, which hasn't moved recently, but this could be something to do with Oro, or it could be something to do with Shadow. We're not 100% certain, but it's interesting to see because obviously we can talk about this in future videos as this begins to move around. I'll keep you guys up to date with that. I'm your #1 map change source on YouTube. So jumping back over to Oro and Midas and all that sort of stuff, you can see that Midas is part of the Golden Ghost set. It's not the same set as Oro or another skin which I'm going to talk about right now. So this is the other skin, Wrath. You can notice that Wrath himself has his eye patch covered on the right eye of him. Now, if you look at Midas, he has a scar on his right eye, and same with Oro. They both have scars on their right eyes. And the most interesting thing is, this Wrath skin is the same set as Oro, Midas's Revenge. So is this a different alternative form of Midas? We don't 100% know, but we do know the Fortnite storyline is definitely getting bigger and bigger every single day, especially now with this Oro stuff, the Midas stuff, and so much stuff going on around this. We are very excited to see how this is all going to play out. And a skin coming back from back in, I think it may have been introduced early on, to be honest. I didn't expect it to be introduced quite early, but it was in season 1 of chapter 2, the introduction of Wrath. So pretty early for this chapter. It wasn't from last season, so Wrath has definitely been planned for this season, the introduction of him, and he was actually introduced back around Halloweenish time when we had a few LTMs. So very interesting and cool stuff regarding the Fortnite storyline and Wrath himself. And with all our map change videos, we always try and fit in an honorable mention, and that is this one. This is a hub which is currently in use in today's creative hub, which you can pop into if you want to go and explore it, but this is a pirate theme. It's very simplistic and I absolutely love the design of it. I think it definitely deserves a mention in today's video because of the thought and design which has gone into this. You can see that we have a few different patterns and structures all around this. I think it's so crazy to expect this sort of level of detail from our creative people out there in the community, which is just awesome. So thank you so much for designing this hub. Shout out to you, my friend. I absolutely love it. I think this is something that we could potentially see return in Fortnite itself, that pirate vibe. It's been back since around, was it season 8 when we first got the pirate vibe, but this is a whole new level of it. The sunlight and everything just gives the whole world a different immersive experience. There is actually a little bit of an Easter egg as well if you're wondering where it is. If you come through the sewers through here, you can pop into this section and this will teleport you to the other side of the island where I'm going right now, and it'll teleport you to this little small island where it tells you the helpers that have helped build the hub, so shout out to you guys as well. And it also tells you another little Easter egg that he's working on another map as well, so that's really nice to see. And just the views and the angles you can get from this shot, it's just so crazy. It's such a simple hub. Like most of the hubs recently have been really over detailed, but I think this one's just simple, plain, but very nice to look at and very nice to explore because there isn't that much to explore. You can simply pop into here, search around for about 2 minutes like I'm doing, and you've already experienced the whole hub entirely. It's a great hub. Best one we've had in a long time, just because it's quick and simple, and a very nice design and thought gone into a lot of the builds. Anyway, let's move back on over to some storyline content for you guys. Now the Fortnite storyline is definitely something which is changing over at Epic Games this week, because we can see from their brand new trailer which we had, which was for the brand new agent skin that Meowscles was in. I think he himself gives us a huge insight on what is going on. So you can see the trailer playing, and you can see that we do have a dark version of Meowscles being obviously the shadow version of him taking over the yacht in this picture. Now does that mean that we're guaranteed another shadow takeover at the yacht? Well, previously on the grotto and obviously the favorite location of mine, which was quite fun to land at, and I just love the design of it, but unfortunately it has been destroyed, being the rig. We do know that these two locations are now owned by Shadow. We've proven that in several previous map change and storyline videos over this week. We know that, but does this mean it's guaranteed again for Shadow to take over? And I do think yes. I personally don't think there is a voting system at all. I think people are getting a common misconception with the actual spy games being the voting system. Originally I stated that most likely or potentially the spy games could be a voting system. It turned out that wasn't. It was either going to be a voting system plus games or just games, and it turned out it was just games. So the voting system really isn't there for skins. We see Fortnite do polls on Twitter, we see Fortnite do a few things there and then, but we don't really see anything confirmed for these locations. It just seems to be happening as time goes on. Apart from in the trailer where it told us we would get to affect kind of the events that are taking place. Now I think with that being the case, I think Fortnite maybe wants us to complete our spy games first before we do get involved with anything like that. That's what I'm maybe thinking, but I still don't 100% know. They kind of gave us the option to decide what's going on, but it doesn't really feel like our decision is reflecting on the map correctly. I'm almost certain that on some of the recent selections, if it's going to be Shadow every single time, I don't think that would be 100% guaranteed. from what I've seen online, from polls and stuff, it seems to be swaying towards more of a ghost thing, but also shadow on some of them. But definitely for the previous 3 skins, being obviously the Brutus skin, the TNT Tina skin, and then the Meowsicle, or as I always pronounce it, Meowsicles, but it's actually Meowscles. You know, that's what we can kind of assume to probably be, again, shadow if it is fixed. So I think definitely it is likely going to be fixed because they want to kind of develop the map a little bit, and then it gives us the decision maybe as Team Ghost to retake the locations, and this will affect the final event. Most of the stuff is already programmed. I don't think people at Epic Games will want to spend time programming the same thing twice based on a voting system. I feel like just for efficiency of time and just to make it a lot easier, these things will only be programmed once, and if they have to be changed due to an event in game, they'll just be changed because that has already been kind of pre-planned or fixed, as people are saying, with this voting system. So that's what I'm assuming for this anyway, regarding storyline on that side of stuff. I just generally don't think Fortnite or Epic Games would make that decision to kind of make the game more kind of votable, just because I think the time on it is just a lot of time spent on it. Now I do know that certain things were votable, like for example back in the season 6 event, was it now, or season 8 was it? No, season 8. Why am I saying season 6? Season 8, when they introduced the unvaulting event, that itself was huge, and that kind of gave us a huge insight to potentially a future voting system. But introducing a weapon was a lot easier than introducing kind of, I guess, a whole 2 versions of programs, which they would have had to do if there was a voting system in this. And from the files and people and what people have been saying, it just doesn't seem to be a voting system yet. Maybe in the future, but right now it seems to be going shadow, 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 shadow. And even from this trailer that we previously showed from the brand new fish stick skin, that provides evidence that it's going to be shadow again. So maybe Fortnite are hinting towards this. And if they are, I'll let you guys know next week when the map changes go live. We actually haven't even got that long, really. We've got roughly about 3 to 4 days, depending on if the update comes out on a Monday or a Tuesday. So not long at all, really, depending on when you're watching this video. So pretty exciting stuff. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are too. I can't wait to see what Fortnite do if we see some future map changes at the yacht next week. I'm almost predicting it guaranteed to be shadow, but if it stays ghost or something happens with the development of ghost over there, then we've definitely got something big on our hands. I'll keep you guys updated. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you smash that notification bell to keep up to date with every single map change and storyline piece of information I bring to you guys. I really do hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys in my other videos on screen right now.